What is up, guys? Kane here, and in this one, we're gonna talk about, I suppose, the state of the game and pretty much how I kind of feel about it. So, there are a few nuances which I kind of want to touch on. Personally, the game, even a few months back, it was actually pretty decent. Like, how majority of the games, the gameplays go, this was kind of one of the better, or I suppose best war games in terms of like some sort of PvP if you're able to play without lag, as well as events, as well as starting to be generous in terms of events and what they do give. But as the time went on, procedurally, the game just became pretty friggin' annoying, boring, and cool, like a few aspects in terms of this game kind of changed it and its perspective completely. So, one of the first few things that did change it dramatically is the frigging Covenant. So, when Covenants appeared, there was no resistance meta per se, where pretty much everything was just about getting resistances, and we were able to visually see damage in terms of PvP and the field and stuff like that. And now pretty much majority of that PvP is literally you do almost zero damage because you have to kill enemy heroes, and if the enemy has like 50 invincibilities on their field and you're not able to proc them and kill them faster before the enemy does on your side, pretty much majority of the time, depending what heroes or buffs you lose or what you have and he didn't, pretty much the battle is over in either you flawless the enemy or he flawlesses you. Before, flawless is usually or was usually described in a way where a person doesn't have a good account. Like, for example, if I am, say, 16 million core, and there are plenty of people who would say be 18 million core and now would not lose a single army unit. And those people are pretty much like very bad accounts, very bad setups, and stuff like that. And now there are people who say are around my core and can flawless me just because either they didn't lag in the first second and cast the abilities, or pretty much I wasn't lucky to proc some of their invincibilities faster. And they did proc them faster on my side. Pretty much he flawlesses my field just because of a few seconds or nuances when it like turns out to be, say, burst hero side versus burst hero side. Before, we were able to visually see damages, visually see everything, and now it's pretty much like 50 shields. We don't even see how much the shield brings. We don't see like any invincibilities or any of those things. So we're basically just damaging nothing that we see on the screen. And pretty much the fights are like as we didn't scratch a single person. Or if you did scratch it, the enemy didn't scratch anything on yours. And that is how like literally majority of the fights go. And that sort of resistance and invincibility meta and stuff just kind of is killing my gameplay, is killing my enjoyment. And like, I don't know, man. Prior to that, it was actually fun. It was actually visible to see the damage that you're doing on the enemy field and the damage that the enemy was doing on you. And now there are quite a lot of fights that people can't even clear, say, my swordman, and they're actually surprised at like the resistances that these swordmen have in terms of the fights. And I mean, there are even people with even stronger resistances than, say, my own, and I would do almost zero damage to those people as well. There are a lot of nuances to touch on, and as the game goes, it's just becoming more and more ridiculous in terms of these stats. I mean, before, the game was actually good. Again, this is probably just my playstyle and how I like to view things, but I like to meddle around in like tons of features that we have in game. I like to meddle around in like even check daily abilities, buffs, and all that kind of stuff, whether or not they work or not. And now it's actually pretty friggin' hard to check anything because you have like 50 different shields on the field without any, say, visual effect on the HP bar of the hero or the army. You don't know whether or not that unit or hero is in invincibility, and pretty much the further it goes, the more invincibilities they add, the more features with like friggin' 50 invincibility, like 50 features with resistances, and pretty much the battles will just be drawn out. Like, this is the only season in Duel Tower where I literally had losses versus most Sylph players, and if I didn't lose, it ended up as a draw. And that is actually pretty crazy because the trees were actually nerfed. I think at the same patch as Void Eater or not too long after. So as you all know, Void Eater kind of screwed like the entire game for quite a while. Multiple invincibilities and stuff like that. So trees actually have something similar in my eyes. So prior to the nerf, even with Void Eater and high resistances, I was actually able to kill the trees. Like, literally, my mages were able to kill the trees. Like 30-40 seconds into the match. With Void Eater, about 1 minute into the match. Now, I cannot kill a single tree with like 200% resistance reductions in under 1 minute. Like, it's impossible. And I even have archers. Well, not HP percent damage archers, but I still have archers. Regardless of the resistances and stuff like that, like, visually, I do not see any damage on the trees proccing. It's as if they have an inbuilt Void Eater, like literally every some seconds, like similarly to what Void Eater was providing. Like, they can drop to 1%. I literally see like friggin' 5 mages hitting that unit. It heals to full. My mages retarget, target it back, keep hitting it to like 1%, poof, it heals back to full while not taking that last bit of friggin' damage like multiple times. And the mages can't keep just doing that until like around friggin' 50-60 seconds into the battle. I understand like one proc, okay? Maybe second proc from something, okay? Literally like a few procs. I mean, come on, what the actual hell? This never happened. And I don't know, man. It's just the further it's going, the game is becoming severely more buggy. The game is just becoming more annoying. With each fix, they just add something else, literally game breaking. Of course, the paywall stuff that they're actually bringing in as well is just an entire mood killer to the already pretty boring and annoying meta as it is right now. I mean, again, the game has like quite a lot of things that are good about it. It can be good as well. However, there are quite a decent amount of things that like they're just heading into a pretty wrong direction, and they're just killing the game as the game goes. Like, literally killing the game to the point that quite a lot of people are quitting, even with new features, new things added into the game quite frequently and like quite often, and so, and even rewards and updates and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, man. It's just pretty hard to explain stuff, as like the only thing that I loved about this game is competition. I love the PvP, and now the PvP is such in a such incredibly boring state that it just like killed my entire gameplay to the point like I barely even want to play any events on the game or even play the game, and that's like the current state the game is in. I mean, I still find strength compared to quite a few other people to do it, but I mean that sort of thing is probably not gonna last more than a few months if like nothing changes. But yeah, that is what kind of happened, and I kind of was feeling a little bit burnt out as well, so I took a couple of days off. But again, do let me know in the comments down below what you guys also think about the meta and about the game itself. I mean, for me personally, they're just heading into a wrong direction, and they're like friggin' speeding it at a very high pace, to the point that personally, what I would want to see is simplifying of features, simplifying of the values. Like, we don't require millions and billions of damages. We don't require friggin' trees with 50 billion HP bars and all that kind of stuff. Sure, it looks like very good. Sure, it looks like incredible, but this is what is causing huge lag on multiple devices. Why don't they just friggin' simplify like many old games? They just do a total revamp and just, I don't know, from the base value, like you see base value 1.7 million, just friggin', I don't know, remove these three numbers from the ending or two numbers from the ending. So instead of 1.7 million, and just friggin' raise it to like 112, why not have like 170,000 or like 17,000, and then this value is gonna be so low, and you literally just remove even the lag from like more than half of the community of this game, regardless of like 90 features that they're gonna be adding. If this value is reduced, the gameplay will actually probably be even better, since people can actually put some decent graphics on. But that is also one of the things which are kind of a killer thing as the things go, especially even now, since they added a new feature where in the cosmic badge the values of the archers literally jumped like 3, 4, 5, some archers like 10 times, I think, for the krakens or the whales. It's actually pretty friggin' crazy. But yeah, do let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. And also, if you did enjoy the video, do hit that subscribe button. It would help me out a lot. I'm kind of planning on trying out and testing a few games here and there. Perhaps just, I don't know, just um, reviews or overlooks while at the same time playing this game. I guess not to just completely burn out playing one game or so. I don't know. I'm thinking what I kind of want to do. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay safe out there.